Let's go take it back, try it one more time. It ain't hard to see, I've been on your mind. And I'd be lying if I say that you're not on mine. Yeah, you need all of me, can barely give you time. I close my eyes and I see money. You close your eyes and you see me. I'd rather go out chasing commas. You'd rather run around chasing me. Don't know if
Welcome to another episode of On Campus with JB and Sciggy. You already know, this is your boy JB. We got my dog Sciggy. What's good with you this week, man?
Good, what's good, everybody? Hope everybody's doing good. What's going on with the guest today? Introduce me to your man.
This is one of my own boys. Played with him when I was at Elon my freshman year. Great dude, he's an absolute character too. Satan's defensive end, Marcus Willoughby. What's up, man?
What's up with it, man? Out here from Durham, North Carolina, representing.
The Bull City, man.
About to have fun today, man. Let's get
it. Hey, I hope so. That's why we bring you. We bring good guests on. You can't be having everybody on here. Some people ain't got personality. Some people drive, so you can't have anybody on the show. But you just got out of. I mean, you're what like. I think you just told us you were at the facility today, and you guys just finished up with OTAs last week. So just let us know how OTAs have been, what it's been like for you. Where do you feel like you're at coming into the not fall camp, but training camp here soon in about a month?
Well, OTAs, like I told you earlier before, the Saints, we did it a little bit different. We focused on individual development, focused on playbook, and the actual building your body to be bigger, faster, and stronger. So that entitles like the OTAs was basically like a workout day. So we'd come in, different groups, like different position groups come in at different times. So for me, it was 9 o'clock and it was D-line, O-line, and tight ends. We'll run for like an hour and then lift an hour. And then we'll go into a little break or whatever, and then go into our position meetings, start off with special teams. And that's a 30-minute special teams meeting, and then go into position meetings. And that's for, an hour and a half, just going over the film. And everything we do, like our conditioning was skill development. So we'll be with our D-line coach, working on skills, pass rush, the run, everything, just breaking everything down so we can take this time to focus on building technique. So when we come to camp, we just flying. We just going crazy. But me personally, for how I'm feeling, I'm at the best shape I ever been. I'm at the heaviest I ever been too. So I'm really excited to get out there. And the lack of preseason games last year, I cannot wait to get out there, man. I ain't played real football in 2 years. So
yeah,
I'm
and
excited, man.
That's actually the biggest thing and one of the craziest things that when you think about you're a guy who you're an undrafted free agent coming out of Elon. You originally were at Sciggy's favorite team, the Baltimore Ravens. That's who you were in camp with last year. That's who you finished camp with and everything. And I remember just us talking because, we're in a group message with a couple of our other guys from Elon. Shout out to the boys, man. Derb, Zay, Martell, of course, Deshaun. Oh my God! But we talked about last year. We were talking about, man, you get on the practice squad, you might get your way to a free ring, boy. And just talking about different things you got to see last year. Just being in camp, what was it like to get that first taste of NFL experience? Just going from Elon, you go from CAA football to now you're in practice with Lamar Jackson, a guy like J.K. Dobbins, who you talked to us about was a freak. It's just, what was that like for you?
Man, it was definitely an interesting learning experience because coming from Elon, we don't really have that much. Then coming to a place where they got everything, I had to keep telling myself, go ahead, use this. Go ahead, use the masseuse. Just doing stuff like, extra stuff. And then they have other stuff that's outside of football, like player engagement, stuff that's outside of football, that building you as a person. A lot of that stuff that Elon didn't have. And playing against like top notch players. Like everybody good, everybody fast, everybody strong. You feel me? So I had talk to myself and just keep doing me, but take it to another level because everybody else brought it to another level. So yeah, that's basically
Skig,
it.
Skig, that's your
Still,
team. Anything you want to know about
Yeah,
last
man,
week
that's
in camp?
dope, bro.
uh,
That is dope, man. Like he said, I'm a big Ravens fan. Been quite a while since I've been on the team bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? Um, but man, that's just good to hear. I mean, you're with the Saints now, and I'm biggest thing for me with the Saints. I'm just worried about the quarterback situation. What y'all gonna do this year, man?
hey, I'm just letting you know it's a competition. Both of
Word.
them is good. Now I'm gonna leave that to coach on that, but I
Yeah, yeah,
support
fact.
whatever. I'm just handling my position. You feel me? But
Yeah,
it's very exciting because I really feel like people sleep on both of the quarterbacks. I feel like, regardless of who start, we are gonna be straight. All right, it's the whole team, man. We got something
So,
special for real.
yeah,
so
that's dope.
let's actually take it back a little bit. Before we actually hit the record button here, we're talking about your iPad and how you have a little iPad. Teams give players iPads and whatnot. It's yours. You carry it around. But we also know with that iPad comes a negative side. And last year, you know how you ended up in New Orleans. It's not funny,
Yeah.
but it kind of is when it's like, hey, bro, turn to your iPad, man.
Nah,
You know,
yeah.
that's a sick.
Well,
I'm sure that's a devastating feeling for you. And I remember like when you had gotten cut by the Ravens, you hit us up and you just like your whole demeanor had changed because you felt like you had really done really well during camp. You had shown a lot back there. And then, like you said, you didn't get those preseason games last year to prove that you can actually do those things in a live setting. Because you know anybody can be a practice player. But when those lights come on, it's a different thing. Those guys who are practice all
you're a
Americans,
practice player with limited reps at that.
yeah, a lot of those guys can be Rudy Poos when the lights come on. And just talk to us about what that feeling was like when you did get cut, and then what it was like to. I think a day later you ended up getting the call from the Saints, and we were lit after that. But just talk to us
See,
about that.
that day was it? Okay, it was the day after cut day. So the day after the waivers came in, I thought they was about to sign me to the practice squad. It was like, nah, that some people didn't get a claim on that day that they thought was gonna get claimed. So they ended up picking them up. And it was like, nah, we're gonna keep you on like reserve just in case. Like, so you be the next man up. And in my head, I'm like, man, fuck that, man. I'm like, man, come on, stop playing with me. But in the end, like at the hotel and then them coming out there, I'm glad I ain't personalized that iPad. It would have been really depressing just deleting everything. Like, dang, here we go, here you go. But basically, had gone ahead, returned it. I was at the hotel, uh, gave him the iPad. This is one of the scouts came to the hotel, talking and everything. He's like, you did a really great job. Just it's like it's just a numbers game. I mean,
Man, ain't nobody trying to hear
it's a
that
numbers game.
shit.
Hey, we all know it's a numbers game, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, fact.
The ironic thing is, so after that, I'm sitting in the hotel room, and my parents they came up that weekend just to celebrate, just getting up, we're expecting like to make the team and all that. But sitting in the hotel room packing up my stuff, I'm like, what am I gonna do, man? So end up,
Wait. Talk to us about what that moment was like with your family, though. Like having them there when that. I'm sure you were sad, but it's good to have them around for when that to handle that kind of disappointment.
see for me, I need my personal space. Like, so I told them, let me get some time. We can come chop it up and we can figure out what we're gonna do moving forward, like going back home and all that. But so while I'm just in the hotel, just packing, just chilling, uh, I'm like, dang, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But end up, the guy that was recruiting me before NFL draft with the Saints, he had called me and they said they had one spot left and we've been saving it for you. Would you want to take it? Immediately, I'm like, hell yeah.
What you
Hell
mean
yeah,
when I
man.
want to take it? Yeah.
Do I?
Do I? Like,
I will
man.
be there tonight.
Not,
Facts.
it just caught me off guard. But this is literally 2 hours after I got cut. So I really didn't have too much time, downtime to reflect on. Like, damn, I ain't get it. Cause soon as that, like, even 2 hours after that, and I got the call, I was at the Baltimore airport. I
Wow.
came straight to New Orleans. See the thing, how I keep my life and my career. I like to keep that in house until I know it's solid. So I ain't announced none of that until about 2 days later. But I was in New Orleans that same day. Put me in the hotel, going through all that, and there was COVID protocols too. So I had to stay at the hotel, and I came in, practiced with them on Wednesday of week one. So that's basically how I got to the Saints. But it's just a crazy story, but it ain't nothing but God. It ain't
Yeah,
nothing but
facts.
God, man. Cause I did not want to go home. I didn't need to be back home. But
You know how
But
it
but
is
it
when
worked
you go
out.
back home. Dudes be hating on you, man. They be trying to goddamn, you know what I'm saying, get at you when you go back to the crib, man.
Yeah, that but I feel like most people know how to approach me. They know I'm not that I've never been around like hate or any of that. But still you still can't put nothing past nobody.
Yeah.
But it was just the fact that just being back home tempting just to get back into like old stuff, like
Mhm.
just chilling when I still should be working and working and working. But it's hard to do that when you not in the place. You feel me?
Yep.
Just waiting
Mhm.
while the season is going on. Like so, thank God I had the opportunity to come here because that I don't know what would have been right now. To be honest with you.
bro, Sciggy, when I tell you Marcus is like you in the sense of just positivity and everything, when I first met this dude freshman year, I did not like Marcus, bro. I thought he was, I thought he was weird, bro. He was weird. It's like we had, we had Mark, it was the guys that are in our group message. Four of us, or three or four of us, all lived together already. So you get close with the guys that you live with. We was cool and everything. And Marcus was the dude that's just always busting in the room like in our like little dorm or whatever, on some weird shit. I'm like, bro, what is wrong with this dude, bro? Like, all y'all is acting like this. Like, do you act just like you ever just chill? But then like you get in time, like you realize that he's one of the few genuine people. Everybody ain't genuine. Like this really who he
Yeah.
is. He got good energy. You eventually realize you want that around you because his roommate was a weird dude too. But we
Hey, both
understood
of them.
we understood why Deshaun was weird because Deshaun from Florida. They just be on some whole other.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we knew it was up with Deshaun. He's just different. But Marcus is one of those dudes like he's really a positive guy, and I think that's what really propelled him throughout his time. As we're about to go and talk to your journey before the NFL. I think that's what's propelled him to the heights that he's at. He's definitely earned where he's at, and
Oh, yeah.
just because I remember we were our freshman year. We look at our class, we look at the guys in our class who can play, who can't play. And I remember telling you at one point, I was like, bro, I really think you can play in the league. And you looked at me as like, you sure about that? I said, yes, bro. Like, I'm positive, bro. We really do got the talent. Dude was like, we'll see. All right. And then next thing you know, here you are. So just talk to us about how did this journey come about? Like, where football started for you, how you ended up at Elon, how you ended up in the NFL. Like, where does everything start back for you? What's the origin?
Origin, it started when I was 1 and 2. My dad be in the living room. I don't remember this shit, but uh, he used to tell me he'd be in the living room, he'd throw the ball, and I used to love just holding up the big size football, not a little football, but just I have him run with it, and he'll tackle me. Just started from there. I'm the only child, so as I progressed to getting older, like playing with myself, I catch myself throwing the ball up to catch it. I like at a real early age, I knew I loved the sport, but I didn't play organized until my mom. She didn't feel like I was ready until I was 9. So I went over to Oak Grove Athletic Association, played over there 4 years. I went to a charter school, so I ain't have a middle school ball, so I ain't played middle school. And then going into high school, my parents feel like, nah, we can get you out of charter school, we can get you in public school. get you a better competition, so it prepare you. Then getting to Riverside on JV freshman year, had a couple plays in practice. I remember this one. I knew I was gonna be like really good at it. My freshman year, you know how they put the freshmen on everything. So we was doing kickoff return in practice against the varsity, and they had everybody lined up. And I guess I was like in that 3 spot. I remember running down there, and this dude Malik Golston, he was one of our best players that year. Came down, I had smacked him, and then the coaches came over there like, "Who is that? Who is that?" Willoughby. From there, it just taking off, and then sophomore year, played Chapel Hill first game, my first varsity game. I ain't really played until third quarter. I had 2 sacks that game, well, 1 sack, and then the game winning tackle. Like, so it came down to fourth quarter. I guess it was like, why not run at the freshman? So end up, well, I blame their quarterback because it was supposed to be like a I don't know. The running back was supposed to hit the B gap, but the quarterback decided to keep it, and they made it easy for me and it stopped right there. And then from there, I had the respect from the team, the coaches, and then every year it just progressed. And going into my senior year, had a really good year. I think I had like 80-something tackles on D-line, like 8 or 9 sacks. I always been a low sack guy. I'm a high tackle guy, though. But now I'm combining all of that now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to see. You're going to see.
You played a little lacrosse, too, in high school.
Yeah, lacrosse. Yeah, I played 4 years with that. I felt like I was playing baseball before, like, I came to high school. But I felt I wanted to pursue football, so I needed to prepare for football in the off season. And I love sports. Like, I literally love sports. I'm a competitor. So I decided to play lacrosse 4 years. I was on varsity 3 years, freshman year, JV. Basically did that to stay conditioned in the off season, really. But I fell in love with the game.
Boy, when I tell you Marcus can run for days, bro, I remember our first, freshman year, you get up there in the summer, and they talking about the 5 a.m. runs. You be like, man, the Friday 5 a.m. runs. Because, like, the whole week you got little PRPs and
the 10 days.
Team 7-on-7s that you do with just the players and stuff and lifting. But then Friday you got the early morning run. Boy, when I tell you Marcus was out there at, like, I don't know how much you weighed when we got there, but, you weren't a small dude. Dude was running like a cross-country runner. And then after we finished 110s, he wasn't even tired. I said, bro, what is wrong with this? That's another one of the things. I was like, bro, something ain't right with this dude, bro. And he was like, I played lacrosse in high school, man. I can run all day. I was like, hey. But anyway, Marcus, where'd you get you go by the nickname? Boy, I couldn't stand this either when I first met you. It wasn't the fact that it was your nickname. It was the way that you said it. That boy would walk you like, you know what they call me? Will the Beast. And then when he talked about girls, he would try to say it in a sexy way. I'm like, bro, come on, man. This dude. All right, bro, don't say that. Don't talk to me like that, bro. Just talk about where that nickname came from.
Bro, it came from Oak Grove, bro.
Were you a kid?
Yes.
Oh.
When I was 11 years old, my coach, Rocky, I remember this man. Like, this is one of my, like, first real coaches. Like, he'd get in your ass, but at the end of the day, like, pause, man. Come on now. But, like, he'll get on you, man. Like make you get the workout. But he was like, boy, you is Willoughby. Nah, you wildebeest. Because the first game we had, I had broke the running back's arm on the first play. On the first play, he was like, this dude is a beast. But that's where wildebeest came from. And I just took it and ran with it. Put it as my social media. I ain't changed it since. And what was that, like 8th grade, 9th grade? When when I like put it on social media and stuff, but I kept the nickname all the way because my last name Willoughby, so Will the Beast is fitting. So now that's my brand now. So
how did you? Yeah, hey bro, yeah, we got to get some merch, bro. You got any T-shirts that say Willoughby? I know you sold some stuff last year.
Yeah. You can hit the website in my bio.
Oh, okay. Just tell us what the name of the tell us what the name of the website is, just in case.
It's fanart.com/Marcus dash Willoughby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all get y'all Wildebeest gear, man. Get the
Wildebeest merch. Yes,
don't buy anything that got his ugly face on it, bro. Just keep the Willoughby or something on the bag. You don't gotta have his face on your t-shirt.
I know you didn't forget. I said it. I know you.
See, this is what I'm saying, bro. I was like, bro, come on, man. But anyway, go back to your high school journey. What was your recruitment like coming out of high school? You know, obviously ended up at Elon. When we got there was a garbage FCS school, and you know, you guys had a little run for a year or so after I left. But talk to us about that.
Just recruiting wise, I ain't started getting recruited until my junior year. I remember the first team that came to me was fucking Alabama.
What?
Alabama was the first team that came to see me in January of my junior year. And it was, I don't even remember the rest of them after that. But I just remember Alabama was the first. Then I just remember just keep getting pulled out of class and then people hating me. And like, man, why he keep getting pulled out of class and all that? But really wasn't talking to no coaches until I went to the Nike Combine, then came back. I think Hampton was my first offer. Hampton University, and then just Miami, Ohio had offered, and then pulled they offer through the summer. West Point came and talked, and they had an offer for me.
No, we don't do that. No.
Yeah. They almost had me. They kept selling that money, man. almost had me. But no, I ain't no Army type. That ain't me. But
definitely not. What them boys say, I'd rather serve crack before I serve.
Yeah, man.
I'll serve the streets first. Oh God.
Then who else? Winston-Salem State had offered, and that's my mom's alma mater. She played basketball there, so I went on an official visit there. I only went on 2 official visits, and Elon was my last offer. Still. But to be honest with you, I wasn't committed. I was waiting on ECU and NC State to pull the trigger. And ironically, the position coach I have right now was the one recruiting me at NC State.
Wow.
Small world.
That's crazy.
So I remember taking a visit to NC State, telling them, it was like, all right, good. Can you put on 20 pounds? And we might offer you.
Might? What you mean? But if I put on 20, I need it.
20, you better offer me. In my head, I'm like, see, it just went on my head. How the hell I'm going to gain 20 pounds, man, in 2 weeks? Deal with high school and everything. But now we are here. But coming down to signing day, when an official visit, be honest with you, it came down to Townsend, because Townsend offered right before Elon. But I was going to go to Townsend's official visit after the Elon. But after Elon, I just felt like it was the place to be on that visit. It was just fun. And it just felt nice. Like I'm small. And it was close to my home. So, I got a big family. So, my family comes support. So, I wanted to stay close as well. But
that's one big thing that Sciggy mentioned, too, in his last week. He's talking about how, people don't understand. Guys get all these offers, but you want your family to be able to see you play. Once you get to college football, there's no guarantee that you make it to the next level. So these really could be the last times that your family does see you play the game that they've seen you play since you're like 4 or 5 years old. And you brought up Hampton at one point, and then obviously we know Elon's a PWI, which for people who don't know what that is, it's a private white institution. And Sciggy went to an HBCU, so I know he wants to get into this conversation a little bit too about HBCUs and PWIs. But I think me and Marcus handled PWIs a little better than most people, which is funny because me and Marcus both went to a high school called Riverside High School, but we're from completely different places. So me and Marcus were used to being around white people. And the guys in our class were not. Like, the other black guys in our class were not. And like the reason why we are in a group mess with the guys in our class because we were like the 6 black guys that were assigned to that class or something like that. So I mean it wasn't a bunch of us. Bro, it wasn't a bunch of us, bro. I mean Elon not good.
It really won't.
Elon need more brothers, so at the end of the day, hey, great school though. Love that place. Love it. Love Elon. Need more brothers though if they want to, compete in the CAA. You need a couple more guys with some fades and some little Swiss rolls in the haircuts. But that's what they need at the end of the day. Just Marcus, talk about that. Kind of explain what it was like being black at a PWI to Sciggy.
It's kind of. I mean, it's different. It's a lot different.
Very different.
HBCUs, it's a whole different culture over there.
Oh yeah.
Elon, it's just so different. Like, see me, both my parents went to HBCUs, and I was brought up in that my whole life. So when Marcus used
to go to the HBCU parties on the weekends too.
Hey, we gonna leave that on the side. Hey, we ain't talking about basically, you just gotta learn how to talk around people. Still be yourself, but I'm trying to see what I'm trying to say.
It's even more so like white people don't know how to approach you or talk to you at the same time.
Yes, right. Yeah. For me personally, I'm kind of a big dude, but that's why I come off so positive. I'm always smiling because I don't want most people. Like I feel like most people be scared to approach me, but I'm not giving you nothing to be scared of. If they is, and I'm being nice, I'm smiling and everything, I'm talking. Hey, if it's negative, man, I might think you a little out there, the redneckish, but other than that, but for the most part, it was good. It was good people. But then you gotta think about the location, like where the people was coming from too. A lot of people up in New England, so they ain't seen too many black people. And Elon it's already a private institution, tuition high, so most people was coming with money. So,
bro, hold on. We had what was his name? The head coach of the Buccaneers. His daughter went there, and then the AD is Arthur Blank's brother. It's like it's bread all in Elon. But continue.
Yeah, I remember Roger Goodell had his daughter come there visit. So it's a lot of high end coming in there.
They think they're getting a cheap education too.
Huh?
Because they're not going. Because you got to think the schools
they're not going
are Ivy League.
So
they think they get a cheap education.
The closest to Ivy League.
Thanks.
But for the education side, it's definitely good. Like small, yeah. They really good at teaching. I ain't take advantage of that, but.
I don't even know what you majored in, bro.
Sport management, man. But I ain't finished it. I'm gonna be back soon. But to capitalize and actually take advantage. But you just gotta learn. You gotta learn. Just learn by observing. See how they interact, and then you just interact. Be yourself, but be in a respectful manner. That's just how it is. And people just gonna have their own ways anyway. Or the negativity and just stay in your lane and just try to connect with people that you can connect. Connect with everybody, but try to.
And I just remember, like, since we had, like I mentioned, there was only about 6 of us that had signed that were African American in that class, and then you had Marcus and Deshaun didn't live, like, we had it's what they called a flat? It's like the flat. flat was like a dorm. You walk into it, but then there's like 4 rooms inside of it. So
Yeah.
Marcus and Deshaun lived downstairs from us. Like they didn't live with the other 4 of us or whatever. So like I remember like TJ and all them, TJ, Deshaun, all them. They didn't really. TJ was used to white people when you got there, but like Dirk don't talk to nobody. Dirk. So like they had a hard time adjusting to talking to white people because it's like, nah, I don't mess with white people. I'm like, bro, like you just gotta talk. Like it's not like some white people will come at you sideways, but at the end of the day, it's just like you said, it's not you can't have a stereotype because if you go to them with a stereotype, you're just playing into the stereotypes that white people have on us as well. And I remember like just having like we had a group of white people that were athletes that lived across from us. And just from like hanging out with them, playing video game stuff with them, like they came around. I remember that being really good. It's like it was really cool to see a lot of guys who hadn't been around white people kind of grow into just being more well-rounded people at the end of the day because they kind of put their own guards down, put their barriers down. It was a good experience at the end of the day that I can say.
You just can't have that mindset that white people is all racist. Like that's
exactly
not true. That's not
exactly
true. But it is some races now. Hey, Alamance County though. Let's be real.
Yeah, because Elon was his own town, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that was a cool part about it. Sciggy, I know you got a question about what it was like at a PWI.
And I mean, I transferred to Charleston Southern this past semester, so like it was a huge culture shock going from state to Charleston Southern. Like not only was it PWI, but it's a private Christian school at the same time. Ooh. So like it was just like night and day the differences in schools. But man, it's like you said, you just can't really have those assumptions about people and like put those stereotypes on the people. You just got to get out there and talk. Like most of the people at CSU were cool or whatever. There was your select few that like obviously gave you those type of looks or whatever. Because most of my classes, I was the only black dude in my classes there. But then again, like it was something I was used to because when I was in elementary school all the way up until like my 11th grade year, I was the only black dude in my class. So it was just something I had been used to, and I got away from it being at state for 2.5 years. And then going back to it was like, dang, I do kind of miss like, being around my kinfolk like all the time. You know what I mean? But I'm excited to get to Mercer. They're not like as segregated, I would say. I'm putting that in quotation marks as CSU is, but like it's still gonna be a major difference from state. But man, Hampton, you said they were back in the MEAC when they offered you, I think.
Yeah.
Did you never went up there, did you?
Nah, I never went up there. But I have when I was a kid.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's not updated, but still.
Yeah.
Like I ain't gonna lie to you, I knew I didn't want to go there. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was really chasing like NC State, ECU. I'm glad ECU didn't ever pull the trigger because that would have been an interesting situation. How them 4 years turned out. But yeah, it was just I'm waiting on that big call. To see if Miami, Ohio called me back and offered me again.
You think like with Prime coaching at Cali, I just forgot the name of school.
Jackson State.
Jackson State, yeah. With Prime coaching there, Eddie George picking up a school, like people are gonna start like going to HBCUs. Do you think like the tide's gonna completely shift, or do you think like our kids are still gonna try to focus on going to the Power 5 PWIs? But I think that one thing Prime said in the I Am Athlete interview, he was saying that it's not necessarily like the talent or coaching that's any different. Like your ones are just as good as your ones, but then it's the amount of depth these PWIs have. And then another thing is like what Channing said, like the facilities are just so far different.
Facts.
and and I couldn't really like because you feel me. I transferred from HBCU to a PWI, and it's more than just the glitz and glamour. For for me, it was. But Prime was saying if that's what you care about, then I want you to go to a PWI. I don't want you to be here. But like I just feel like at those PWIs they somewhat take care of you better. From my experience, they took care of me better. So I just want to hear your insight on that, man. How you feel about what's going on?
I just feel like it come down to money. Like,
Word.
most HBCUs are underfunded. Uh, then let's separate the PWIs from Power Five and then FCS and now, because that's different itself anyway.
Yeah.
But I really, at the end of the day, it's basically the money. But also, I say, what kids actually going choosing HBCUs over, like they had to lead by example. So somebody has to, like we already had trends and stuff with players switching, going basketball, going to HBCUs instead of their Power Five schools. I feel like the people just like the players. It has to be up to see and realize like everybody. We have a story every year. Small school dude. It doesn't matter where you go because the league is going to find you. And even with the PWI part, but Elon's a small school. Like everywhere I go, Elon, what the fuck is Elon? Like I had to explain it every time. But it's really about your mindset. Are you worried about the glitz and glamour and all that? Because you still got to play ball at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You just want the temporary fix. Because I know a lot of people that wanted the Power 5 didn't even make it.
Yeah.
People went to HBCU. They came up, made it a league, didn't have all the glitz and glamour. They also got that chip on their shoulder, too.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of people from the Power 5 that I have noticed, they end up going to the league and fading out because they already been given everything. Mm-hmm. So that's another approach that you want on yourself. You can add that to you. That's more motivation. Like we ain't getting exposure, so create the exposure. But
create the exposure. I like that's all right there. I'm about to quote that one.
Yeah.
I see.
But yeah. That's the one thing I disagree with Prime on that Sciggy had said. He talked about if those are the things you want, the glitz and the glamour, then I don't want you on my team. I don't necessarily agree with that because here's what it comes down to for me. If I love football, but at the end of the day, if I take a visit to the University of Oklahoma, for example, and then I take a visit to Jackson State, you can say, yeah, Prime's there and everything, but at the end of the day, I also care about off the field, like, where am I going to live at? Yep. Do I have the dorms and stuff they can offer you are luxury. The food and stuff they can offer you is luxury. When we talk about housing and food, that's elite housing and food, especially when we're talking about the demographic of your elite players, the guys that don't come from a lot. Of course, they're going to want to go to those places. They don't want to go to another school that's looks like they're kind of in the middle of a struggle. Because I remember when I was coming out of high school, South Carolina State, my junior year, when they started recruiting me, they were about to lose accreditation at their school. Yep. So it's like, why would I want to come into that kind of situation? And then for me, not being recruited by a lot of HBCUs, SC State being the only one, it's like, if this HBCU was like that, is all the HBCUs like that? Like, how am I supposed to know that? Because I was like, man, I don't know about that. If all these schools about to lose accreditation, that's not a good look. So,
and I will say, like, on that topic, like, Hampton, since I want to say, like, right before my freshman year, they moved to the Big South or whatever. And then A&T, they're doing the same thing. But at the same time, like, when you go to those schools, like, it doesn't seem like you're at an HBCU. Like, the facilities are up to date. The, like, classrooms are really nice and stuff like that. But it just doesn't give you that HBCU vibe except for the people there. So, I think, like, all HBCUs just need to take time and because they make money at HBCUs, believe it or not. They just don't spread the love. Like our president at State was making millions of dollars. And
what?
Millions of dollars, bro. Like he bought himself a new Tesla and all kind of stuff. but like you got like housing places that are having to be torn down because of code violations and stuff like that. So it's just a matter about who you have in charge, what their true intentions are at these schools. Is it just to make money, or is it to actually help our kind out? And that's why I felt like state really wasn't on that type of time. So I had to, skedaddle.
Skedaddle.
Yeah.
And then you also mentioned about like the depth of HBCU schools. It's hard to like. Of course, you got to get those guys that come from a higher level and transfer down. But a guy's not going to go from a Power 5 just to go to HBCU and compete for a starting job. They're trying to play. Like it's got it for in the age we live in. A lot of guys are about the glitz and glamour, what it looks like to the outside world, as opposed to what they're actually doing and producing. They'd rather be able to say, "Man, I'm sitting on the bench at Bama or sitting on the bench at Clemson," than say, "Oh, I'm second string at Jackson State." They ain't trying to create depth at those schools. Just what it is at the end of the day. It's going to come more down to being able to develop talent and being able to recruit better talent and see a lot more in high school players and stop recruiting the way that the big schools recruit, where it's like everything is based on a hand time and a laser time and a tape measure. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have to
under the table stuff.
Yeah, on the table stuff for sure. You're gonna have to kind of maneuver through those things. So it's just one of those conversations. Like we're gonna have another conversation when we have another HBCU. We're gonna have an HBCU player on here soon, but it is one of those things, man. It's hard to get into that conversation because some people get offended by the fact that black people don't like. If you're black, you don't want to go to HBCU. It's like you're not black, apparently.
That debate on Twitter drives me freaking nuts because half the time, like, it's people who are at PWIs saying like HBCUs aren't this, and then I'm at an HBCU. I'm like, well, we do have yada yada yada, and then HBCU people are saying you want to go spend your money at a white person school, but like sometimes they're like it's a better opportunity for that person. So like you can't bash anybody on their decisions to do what's best for them. But before we get to the next topic, I will say that HBCUs do need to do a better job of shooting their shots at athletes, because too many times they see they have offers or whatever and just like fall off. Oh, we can't.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, he's gone. Yeah, he's going up.
At State, they got a running back. Just because his pops went to an HBCU.
Wow.
He had other offers, but like his pops went to an HBCU, so he wanted to go to an HBCU. You never know, like what they need to take their job more serious, in my opinion, and that's going to boost them to the next level.
Right. Sciggy.
The answer, but I feel like over time we are gonna make a transition, but it just gonna have to take a certain like. It's gonna have to take a lot of like major players to go, and it's just gonna set the trend because this world is full of trend followers. So eventually, that trend will be set, and then it will go. But we got to get to that point. Who is gonna be those initial players? Right. But it's all based off on their preference at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Marcus, this how you know that me and you old. Sciggy said, he said, I think when y'all were coming out, Hampton was in the MEAC because we graduated high school at 16, and Sciggy, you graduated what, 18?
18, yeah.
18. So so this kind of takes it to our next topic. When Sciggy, you didn't even get the experiences, bro. I hate that you didn't get the experiences. But me and Marcus, the whole class of 2016 was the last recruiting class that was able to experience two-a-days, bro. Like they took it out. They took it out the following year from fall camps, bro. We had our freshman year? I think we had 28 practices in 17 days. It was so OD, bro. I'm talking about. We would come back to the dorms at night talking about, bro, I don't know if I even want to do this football shit, man. Like this is terrible. Like this ain't worth it. I should
do that shit in the league.
I understand like a two-a-day like we practice in the morning, then nighttime we walk through special teams, something like that.
Exactly, yeah.
But two a day full
real
practices is ridiculous, bro.
Dog, like we had a practice where I know you remember this practice, Marcus. It had to be 102 degrees outside. We had to stop practice in the middle of practice because 3 dudes had passed out. We had to carry a couple dudes up the hill and put them in the ice tub in the facility or whatever because they had caught full body cramps. So we sat there for like 5 minutes. They gave us some Gatorade and granola bars, and then they were like, "All right, let's go. Let's get back to practice." I was like, "Bro, we just had 3 people getting carried out of here and put to the cold tub because body cramp."
Back in them Scrosky days.
That Orangeburg heat is different, bro. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning, bro, and we're trying to do like walk through or whatever. They have to cancel practice because the turf is 126 degrees.
We didn't have turf at that time. We were still on grass.
Yeah.
But it was
ain't no joke.
Fall camp is just one of those things like I don't know. I can explain it. I tell people all the time. I won't wish fall camp my worst enemy, bro. Like, that's just a time.
Hell and fall camp were 2 things that I would never want Joe to go through.
And then especially us coming in as freshmen, that was our real welcome to college football. We thinking like, oh, we gonna practice. Little do you know, like every practice, it's like a game. Because like you really got to compete every single day. High school, you just show up to practice. It is what it is. And then you got guys like, Marcus coming in. He's one of our freshmen that they wanted to play. So Marcus was coming in getting second and first team reps. So he had to, from the jump, nah, bro, you get in there and get ready. And Marcus out there dying out there in the heat too. And then you got to figure out how to keep my weight up during this time. I'm losing like 10 pounds at practice.
See, craziest thing, during that whole summer, I put on 45 pounds.
I remember that.
Yeah. So that was crazy itself. Just eating. I was out there eating, man.
Bro, that fall camp mindset have you in the, bro, you be depressed. I swear to God. I call my man, you call your mom and be like, bro, I don't think this for me. Like, I really don't. It's just.
Oh yeah. You get about that second week. Shoot. How many more weeks we got? Yeah, dog.
Hey, it feel like one continuous week for 28 days. That's what it feel like.
It feel like one continuous day. Like, cause really, you get out of meetings 10:30, 11 o'clock, and gotta be up the next morning at 5.
Bro, fall camp. They schedule things just to take your time. Like,
oh yeah. I remember on purpose.
Bro, we would have one practice in the morning, have meetings and stuff, have practice in the afternoon again, and then we'll go back, eat dinner, and they'll schedule like a team bonding thing at like 9 o'clock. Like, bro, I just want to go to sleep. I'm not even trying to go out and do nothing, bro. I just want to lay down.
What do we? Oh yeah, we play soccer.
No. Remember every night we had a team meeting, and dudes they used to try to make the freshmen sing. They'd make the freshmen go up there with their shirt off or something like that, and make them sing.
Oh yeah.
Skig, when I tell you none of the black freshmen was going for it,
I wouldn't doubt it.
They said
it didn't do it.
It basically came down to one of those things. You know how black people are. They be like, you got to get up and sing. We was like, who gonna beat my ass? Every time they start looking around like, man, y'all no fun, man. Like, all right, but that's cool. But who gonna beat my ass?
I ain't about to go sing for a whole bunch of dudes. What I look like?
See, a fun fact. Even with the Ravens, I got out of that bitch. Hey, I didn't have to do none of it.
How you get out of it?
They forgot. Hey, I ain't gonna remind you. I don't want to do that shit anyway.
Yesterday, bro.
So I didn't finesse it twice in college and in the league. So
fall camp is the epitome. I tell me and my homeboys that when I played at North Greenville, we had came up with this thing that we call it pillow sandwiches. That's when you take a fat nap. We call it a pillow sandwich packed with protein. In fall camp, it's an essential because in fall camp you got to decide. You have lunch and then you have like a little. They give you like a gap, and I say that in quotations because your gap is included in like while you eating lunch. Like you take it up 45 minutes of that little hour, 15-minute gap before you got to be at your next thing. So like. Yeah. We used to be like, man, do I want to just go check in for lunch and just go eat that pillow sandwich at the room? Because I need that rest more than I need that food. I swear to God. It's like I used to just go check in for lunch a couple of times. Act like I'm taking the Taco plate. Man, I sit that Taco plate right on my bed. Man, I go straight to sleep. Eat that pillow sandwich. That's all the protein I need, man. I'm out.
State fall camp was so OD because the coaches took our keys. Like we couldn't drive nowhere. We had to walk everywhere for.
See, that's the HBCU shit.
Man, I say They told us that our freshman year. I said, man, ain't no way we walking everywhere. Keep in mind, it's Orangeburg in the middle of the summer, bro. It's 110 degrees on a normal day. I'm like, man, ain't no way they got us walking everywhere. Then my sophomore year, I had to say something. I was like, man, coach, look, man, it's too hot. The boys need their keys or something. I can't even keep my weight. I'm losing weight every day. So finally, they came around, gave the boys our keys back for like the last week of fall camp or whatever.
For hell no, bro. I swear. You got to miss me on that one. Sorry, coach. I gotta have the keys.
Then when I went back my junior year, like the first semester, we couldn't even play that fall because COVID or whatever, and they canceled our season. And they had us walking around campus, bro.
What?
Hold on.
Not even in season. Like, they took our keys just for fall workouts, bro. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on here, bro? Like, not only are we not playing, but we can't leave campus to go get food. We can't, and HBCU CAF, that's like jail food, basically.
For real?
And, man, what? Bro, we had 2 good days, fried chicken Wednesday and fish Fridays, and fish Friday wasn't eating all that.
I don't really like fish like that.
I'm walking from my little dorm to the CAF for 2 to 3 meals a day. And then it got to the point where I was like, man, fucking, I'm just going to DoorDash something. Because, like, I'm not about to walk all the way up there for that trash, bro. Like, fact. I think I spent like $500 before I left state. Just in like a 2-month span. Just getting food.
So I was using them +7s.
Yeah, see, Elon had dudes hooked up, bro. Like, they was on point with it. All right, Marcus, I gotta take you back to this freshman year, bro. We talked about PWI, us being black and PWI and stuff. Most of our class is white people. Actually, I think it was actually 8 of us, Marcus. I forgot about Khalil and Jeremiah.
Yeah.
8 of us inside. Most of our team was white. Most of the guys in our class were white. Skig, when I tell you, our freshman class, on everything I love, almost had a race war. Oh, I swear to you, we almost had, bro. So you know how when you come in the summer, they put all the freshmen in the little dorm just for the summer, for summer workouts and stuff. We move in everything. It's already enough that, like, sometimes a football locker room can be segregated. Like, the black guys, other black guys, and sometimes not just because it's blacks and whites. It's just because the positions that you play. Like, some positions are predominantly white, some positions are predominantly black. So, we in the dorms. Basically, what happened was, the white boys was doing some stuff in the dorms, whatnot, and, leaving their stuff out, making it obvious that they were doing it in the dorms. So when cleaning people came
global.
Yes, bro, we was in global. So the cleaning people would come by, and they would find a little residue on the counters and stuff. So they told the coach, hey, your dude's been doing this, blah, blah, in the housing over there. You need to get them to stop because they leaving weed and stuff around the apartment. We was like, bruh. And, none of the black people was on that. We wasn't on that time.
We were on none of that, man.
Bro, we was doing nothing but playing video games and eating snacks. Bro, these white dudes try to have a full-blown sausage party every night. Just dudes partying together. Like, bro, come on, bro. Get out of our face with that. Dude. And all this wrong. I love my teammates, but in the beginning, it was rough for all of us. We loved each other, but in the beginning, it was rough. So we got in trouble once, got a warning, and we all got mad. We started texting our freshman group message like, hey, if y'all don't quit doing that shit. And we have a dude in our team named Derb. Derb, bro. When I tell you, Derb don't ever speak, but like, he has an intimidating presence about him. Also, because he doesn't speak, when Derb don't say nothing, Derb texting that group message, he said, if y'all white boys don't quit doing this, somebody gonna have to see me. When I tell you, nobody texts back after that. All right. We was cool.
They made a new group chat and everything, man.
Oh, God. We was cool for like a week. Everything was quiet. Next thing you know, we got in trouble again. Next thing you know, coach hit us on like the little team message thing that only the freshmen got. Freshmen, y'all got to come down at like 4:30 in the morning. We got punishment.
That was the best shit of my life.
We woke up at 4:30 or it was like 4 o'clock. I had to get to the weight room at 4:30. And at Elon, we had those back-to-back 100-yard fields together. So it was 200 yards in total just going across the field. So we lined up at the back of one end zone, and we would do one exercise. It's like partner exercises. It's like we had to bear crawl 200 yards, and then bear crawl all the way back. So that's 40 yards of bear crawls right there. Next one, bro, we had to wheelbarrow each other. And then there's another one we had to fireman carry each other. Bro, we was out there fighting. And keep in mind, the grass is wet in the morning, too.
Yeah, it's wet. So your hand is dirty as hell.
Flipping, hitting your face, all kinds
Yes.
of stuff.
And you know how when it get hot, people start getting mad at each other just because it's hot.
Yeah.
Like, now we do a punishment. So now we just mad because we out here in the morning. I'm talking about we out here. Blanky was talking about, so, man, I swear to God, I see y'all white boys in the doors is over with, bro. I was like, oh, man, bro, we legit almost had a race war between all of us. And then, no lie, Sciggy, it took one of the white guys coming up to one of us and saying, bro, like, we're really sorry. We know you guys didn't do anything wrong. We're going to try to be smart about all this stuff. That was our olive bread. It was our piece. That was bro, that was crazy, man. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, I'll never forget that punishment because that, like, legit, that was probably the hardest thing I ever did. Like, at Elon by far, and it might be at all the workouts I done, man.
You think that was
everything back to back?
Yeah, but you weren't in you played our freshman year, so you weren't in the like workouts with the red shirts and the non-travel guys.
Yeah.
Since I redshirted, I was in the non-travel lifts. So when y'all had away games, we would lift Friday morning at like 5 o'clock, and it would be done for the rest of the weekend. We had no obligations because y'all were traveling Friday. But that was the best time. When we had a home game, we had to come down there and lift at 3 o'clock before the walkthrough when y'all were having meetings, your Friday meetings. Bro, Fridays were like the competition lifts too. Yeah, bro, the worst workout I ever done in my life. Oh my mama, I swear to you. We get in there, Coach Horton. He had Georgia Tech, right? Our strength coach, Coach Horton. He was one of the strength coaches at Georgia Tech now. We get in there, so you get a bar. There was one bar with 175 pounds on it, and then the other bar had 315. So what you had to do was you had a group of 5, and you had to get 100 squats on each rack. We had to get like 50 squats on each rack.
I remember that.
Every single round. And it was like 4 or 5 rounds, bro. So it's like, I was one of the little guys, so they had me doing the 175, trying to rep those out. And then the bigger guys started slowing down. It's like, I squat heavy. Like, I can squat probably northwards of 500 pounds. It's like, I started doing some 315 reps, bro. So you get your 50 reps, get those in, gig. That wasn't even the end of it. To end the round, there was a bar outside with 315 pounds on it. So you had to figure out how to take this 315-pound bar with you and the other 5 guys in your group and walk it around or get it around the perimeter of the stadium. Like, not the field, the perimeter of the stadium, bro. I need you to go look up a picture of what Elon Stadium looked like. And
yeah, I've seen it, but I ain't never seen the top view. That sound OD.
Hold on. I don't remember that workout.
You were in this because you were you played. And this was in the red shirt lifts and stuff.
Okay.
It's like the competition Friday. So,
Yeah.
bro, we had to figure out different ways to get 315 around the perimeter. Like, we had dudes, like, we'll put it on the dude's back and have the other 4 dudes on the side, each side, trying to hold it up and walk it around. And then, Marcus, you know how you got the valley, like a little hill on the other side of the stadium, the visitor side. It's like,
and then go back
bro, yeah, so now you're trying to, and I'll never forget, we played Villanova. we played Villanova that week, bro. And the Villanova
got that ass.
They had just come for the, they come for their little walkthrough on the fields. They just got in town. They heard Coach seen us doing the workout. He said, man, I gotta give it to y'all boys. I'll never be doing no shit like that. Yeah, when I tell you that was the worst workout I ever did in my life, I ain't never felt nothing like that.
That year was full of a bunch of workouts, man.
What? Our first workout as freshmen, when we did all them pull-ups, it was like we had another group of 6. Your freshman year, you walk in.
That's the one I remember.
We're not doing no weight for like a week and a half. We're gonna make sure our technique stuff right. Our very first workout, we walk in there. We had like 4 or 5 guys in the group. You have to get 100 pull-ups and 100 bench press reps.
Bro, I remember Hunter and Jack was with Cam. So Cam had to do all the reps, man.
Yeah, they put one of the linebackers with both the place kickers, and they put
Yes, man. That man
bro,
was dang.
bro, the bench had like it was like 185 on it, wasn't it? Like 155, something like that. Our kickers couldn't bench it.
Yeah.
On
But he
my
had to do
soul,
100.
I would have
couldn't
told them
bench it.
boys they would have had to get on that bench, boy.
Hey, tell them both to get up under that bench.
Bro, at the same time, I don't care how y'all get it done, but I ain't doing it.
He had to hit all 100, and it was like 200 pull-ups, I think. So since I was like only 155 pounds, and me in another corner, Zay was in my group, Marcus, and Zay was like 6 foot, about 150, 160 when he came in, so he's skinny. So they had both of us do all the pull-ups, bro. When I tell you my arms were stuck at a 90-degree angle for at least 5 days, bro, my arms did not move from this position for 5 days, and it hurt to like extend my elbows out. It was. But that was some OD stuff.
Yeah, that was some jail workouts.
You look back on it, you like, man, I swear to God, football ain't worth it. I swear. And now
You get to them M's though, ain't it, Marcus?
You said what?
I
Say it
said it's
again.
worth it when you get to them M's, ain't it?
Hey, I ain't there yet, so I'm still,
But-
working. Hey,
okay,
when
but
I
you
do,
got
I ain't switching up either. Ain't no
you didn't get a multi-million-dollar contract, but you know how it feel to have a little bread in your pocket. You know, it's certainly the most money you ever had in your life. What's that like?
I mean, it's nice, but hey, you gotta learn how to manage it, man. Hey,
That's the
hey,
big
just as
thing.
quick as it, you can get gone real quick.
Did you make a big purchase?
Nah, it just been more like stuff like for my business that I'm getting started up. For
Hold on, talk about that. Don't skip over that now. I see what going on.
Yeah, I've been preparing my LLC, so we going into retail. The LLC is gonna be The Beast Enterprises.
Okay.
The Beast. That's shortening up. But
Glad.
we're gonna go into real estate as well. Trying to be a landlord. Yes, sir. Trying to get that residual income. I'm trying to
You
wake
heard
up. See that bank account? Yes, sir. We getting paid.
You worried about going back and getting a degree?
Hmm?
Worried about going back and getting a degree? So you got everything figured out.
Nah. Technically, I learned what I learned. Hey, I got notes. I took notes. But I'm gonna go get it for my mama, to be honest.
Okay.
But
Because Sciggy had a conversation about how a lot of these draft prospects gonna stop going back to school to go get that weak ass degree. Because like a guy like Sean Wade could have went first round, went back for that weak ass degree, and man, he went 6. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, that degree gonna be there, bro. And you already
that's why I said like it's you can always go back to school now.
Yeah.
And your chance for the league is very little. And the NFL stands for not for long. So
Belong.
you gotta maximize them opportunities. Then I'll take care of that later. But that's basically the LLC. It's just getting it off the ground. I ain't really getting into it because I'm trying to establish myself first.
Yeah.
So my major focus is all ball. It's all ball.
What's the season gonna look like for you, man? You hoping to be a guy who makes the 53? Obviously, like
Yeah.
let's talk to us about what you have in store for us this year.
For me, I know for sure I'm gonna be out there special teams. That's number one. And for people getting to the league, like trying to get
hold on, Marcus. Marcus might be the first black person I ever met that you can say is an effort guy.
Yeah.
He's a white dude, but Marcus is an effort guy for real.
Hey, I mean, I love the sport, but I really be trying to kill people out there. Like, not trying to kill them, but it's legalized violence. So I get the fuck a motherfucker up and not get charged. I don't get charged nothing. So I just take all the negativity in the outside world and just let it explode out on the field, man. To be honest with you. Just gotta have that switch. Just how I'm all laughing and all that. But out there, it's a whole nother side of me. People don't ever see unless you play it beside me or against me. You just gotta have that switch.
And Marcus knows I'm not a Saints fan, bro. I'll be texting him throughout the season last year, like, bro, I hope y'all get smoked this week, bro. Like, y'all not, I swear y'all not good, bro. But Mark, I said I'm not a fan until they put you on the 53. I ain't rooting for nothing.
I
Feel
hear
like Michael Thomas, his crybaby ass.
he
I know you
he a
can't speak
real
on that.
dude, man. He a real.
Man,
See,
that
that's
is
the
a
other
great
thing.
team
Like,
answer.
see, down here, like New Orleans is kind of like a low market, so the media, and we keep a lot of stuff in house. Man, we got some real people. The media made that a little bit more, and you know, well, he from
I'm just talking
California. You
about
know,
how he's
California
a
people.
little slant boy, crybaby on Twitter. Boy, hey,
My
nigga.
man was taking what he was given.
Yeah, you're a good
Marcus,
team guy.
Marcus, you said something about y'all having good people down there in New Orleans. Talk about. I know you talked to me about this at one point. Talk about how good a veteran like All Pro like Cam Jordan has been to you in your time there.
I mean, like he a humble dude, but he'll talk his shit for sure. But it's the fact that you talk about what you're doing and actually applying it, and then consistently doing it in practice. Like you see a lot of guys just bullshit and bull jive in practice, but he's putting in the work, seeing it, and then it also come with the coach because our coach is really he like that. He is really like that. Future coach, head coach or something. I don't know what he want to do, but this man, he know what he talking about. But he actually treat everybody the same. Like he's not one of those people. Like his off the field, really, it goes hand in hand to me. Like he's so good with people off the field, and then when he come in and lock in, like he's always learning. This is 10th, 11th year in the league, and he's still always learning.
He took care of you too, didn't he?
Yeah. He didn't bless the whole D line with some headphones at the beginning of the year. So I was really thankful. But he always looking out though, for sure. Like,
Did they hit you on the head with your rookie duties?
yeah. But thank God, because in Baltimore they were really chilling on rookie stuff because of COVID. They were taking it a lot more serious. Down here, we were just doing the bare minimum, to be honest with you. Like,
I'm sure
whatever we gotta do, that's what we was doing.
We seen the locker room videos.
Oh yeah.
We got in trouble a couple times.
Yeah, but it's just different, man. Yeah, got some real dogs though.
Well, Marcus, you already know, man. Yeah, I'm proud of you. I love you. You're a brother to me. I'm thankful to have you as one of the people in my circle. We the kind of people that keep our circle small. Hopefully, we get to continue. Hopefully, we get to see you finally get a chance to ball out this year. But most importantly, we get to see you continue to grow as a person, as a man. So it's been awesome to kind of see you grow from that super weird kid at 18. And,
I'm still super weird.
You're still weird, but I understand you, man.
It may come off for weird, but I'm a real one at the end of the day.
That is for sure. That is
I
very
ain't
sure.
trying to be with that fake. Yeah, I got a lot of weirdness in me. The world ain't gonna see it. The world only know about 10% of me. That's how it's gonna be, to be honest with you. But, yeah, man.
Hey,
I'm really appreciative of you and having me on here, man.
Hey, we just enjoy having guests. Good guests, man.
Like I said, man, I feel like I can talk to y'all all day, to be honest with you.
Hey, we really be cool it on here. Oh God.
Yeah, I like the vibe.
One day, hopefully, this show can get big enough where me and Skid can actually have like a place where we actually can bring guests physically, have them record it, sit, chill, talk, shit the shit, man. But thanks for coming on campus with JB and Sciggy. This is Saints defensive end Marcus Willoughby. Skiggy, get us out.
Trying to make you feel good, I ain't here to waste your time. I be high as fuck when I'm with you, feel like I'm flying. You and Detroit got me inspired. Off an Addy and I feel like I'm in space, you did. She throw it back, she got the pillow in her face. And I'm smoking on exotic, you might think the blunt is lace, you did. I know this chick that do whatever for the kid, you did.